Hello, my name is Julia Hurt, and I'm so honored to introduce our very own Adalynn Meeks. Now, if you've not been fortunate enough to see her, let me just tell you that she is a 10. I mean, if her flawless skin and luscious hair is not enough to get you begging to be friends with her, then no doubt her personality will win you over. Not only is Adalynn a math and science whiz, but she's an amazing dancer, showing us that time and dedication are the two things needed to master an art. Adalynn's capability of keeping a relaxed exterior as she elegantly dominates throughout her life shows what kind of grace she has, and I personally cannot wait to hear what she is going to share with us today. So please give it up for the one and only Adalynn Maria Furong Meeks.
I am and will always be a mathlete. I'm unsure if this is the result of my mother constantly forcing me to go to math classes, or rather a natural adeptness towards math. Regardless of the cause, I have found a strange love for math. We have all been asked what we want to be in the future. My answer was always that I wanted to be an engineer, simply because I love math and wanted to pursue it following high school. As I progressed from addition and subtraction to derivatives and integrals, I began to see the parallels between math and life. I was drawn to math because math is constant. This characteristic of math speaks to the human's desire for consistency and reliability. A squared plus b squared will always equal c squared when a and b are segments of a right triangle. With the introduction to algebra, I learned how, at first, variables could be undefined, but with the application of arithmetic and logic, the variable can be isolated and then determined. In the complex equation that is life, I tried to isolate and determine the variable Adalynn. However, I typically would define myself as a singular thing. In retrospect, I found that this trapped me. I realized that it was a disadvantage to limit a person to a singular word when we ourselves are much more complex. By defining ourselves with such constraints, we only present a small facet of ourselves to those around us. Ernest Hemingway describes this phenomenon as the iceberg theory, where we can only see the tip of an iceberg, although there is much more underneath that is not visible. Calculus, the bane of my existence, changed my views of math. No longer was math a constant, but rather it tried to explain the ideas of infinity, which has an indeterminable value. After much frustration and Mr. Stone having to reteach this concept on several occasions, I've come to accept the indeterminate nature of life, as well as calculus. However, while calculus tries to understand infinity, I will not attempt to apply this to my life. I like the freedom of infinity and the ability to transcend beyond a single answer. By applying the concepts that I have acquired from math, I've gained a new perspective on life. Now, when asked about the future, I know that there are an infinite amount of possible answers. However, I am not going to try to condense infinity into a single answer. Who is Adalynn? Yes, she is a mathlete, but she is also much more. Thank you.